Hey everyone, welcome back. So today's Thursday. We had the merge happen with Ethereum. So we'll obviously take a look at that a little bit, but we'll also take a look at Bitcoin, the markets, Ethereum, see how they're doing in the grand scheme of things. We'll also take a look at Bitcoin miners, see how they did today. We'll also take a look at Hive post merge on Ethereum. Is it going to be a big hit for them or not? We'll take a look at the numbers there. Also, we have Bitcoin difficulty, or not difficulty, hash rate reaching new all-time highs. We'll take a look at that, what that actually means for the miners as far as when they're profitable, when they're not profitable, depending on obviously Bitcoin price and the cost for electricity. So quite a few things to go over today. And as always, not financial advice. You guys know the drill here. I'm invested in the following coins. And if you enjoy this type of content, please hit the like button, subscribe. Helps me out tremendously. And let's take a look at the markets here really quick, and we'll get into the other stories as well. So the markets were actually down today. Surprisingly, the S&P 500 was down 1.13%, Dow Jones was down 0.54%, and the Nasdaq was down 1.43%. Now, looking at Bitcoin, that's the hash rate difficulty. We'll take a look at that in a minute. But Bitcoin today had a down day again. So we were a little bit up yesterday on Wednesday. Today is Thursday. We obviously went over to the new time frame for Bitcoin, but we did go down 2.59%. to a close of 19,703. We are now at 19,741, so we're not too far off from that, from where we closed off at. We did come really close to our support here. On the daily chart, you can see it. We were, let me see, what did we come down to? Well, the low was 19,500, so I mean, we pretty much touched the support there. We did bounce off of it a little bit, and we are in the green right now. Don't know how long that's going to hold right now. The thing that is a little bit concerning for me right now is looking at the RSI. The RSI is slightly going upwards. 39 there. We were at 38. It's slightly going up while the price has been coming down. So I think we're going to be testing our support here at 19,500. If that happens, and it happens multiple times, we are more than likely to fall below that support, which we have seen obviously happen in the past as well. Now, we are still above, obviously, our trend line here, the green line, but that's no benefit to us right now. I think right now our battle is with 19,500. If we don't hold that, we might be coming down to maybe around 17.5 or so, 17.6. That is our previous bottom here that we reached this year. We'll see if we can stay above that going forward, but we'll have to monitor it as well. Ethereum was obviously down as well. Ethereum was down quite a bit. It was down 10.16%, obviously, after the merge happened. We can see it here on the 1 hour chart that right around when the merge happened, the price started falling down. So obviously it's one of those things where buy the news or buy the rumor, sell the news, right? Events. So we might have been just coming down here from that. The other thing on Ethereum on the 1 hour chart, it is the RSI is going sideways right now, but the price has been coming down, which isn't a good sign as well. So we might be coming down to possibly, I mean, there's not really much here except for right around 1,400 or so. Yeah, we have a little bit of support there. So we'll see if we can stay above that. We came pretty close to that today as well, and we bounced off of it. You can see here around 14 something. So we'll have to take a look at it, see how it continues going forward. Obviously, this is all news. But yeah, not a good day for Bitcoin, not a good day for Ethereum as well. But we'll see how it continues going on into, obviously, tomorrow's Friday, and then we have the weekend. We'll see how that plays out. Now, the miners. ANY was down 1.66% to 60 cents, and Argo was down 5.52% to 39 cents. BitDigital was basically flat, $1.45. Bitfarms was up a little bit, 0.79% to $1.27. CleanSpark was down 5.59% to $4.05. Cores was down 2.9% to $2.01. DigiHost was down 3.26% to 90 cents. DMG was down 1.72% to 21 cents. Greenidge was down 2.31% to $2.11. Hive was down 0.88 to $4.05. And with Hive, we're going to get into a little bit here as far as what it means for them with the merge happening for Ethereum and how that's going to affect them going forward for this month of September and going into October as well. But those are just some rough estimates that we're going to go over, but we'll go over that. And I think maybe this merge has already priced in a little bit because Hive didn't go down too far. So we'll have to see how that one goes. along with Hut. Hut was mining some Ethereum as well, so I think that might be a little bit pricey. But Hut was up 2.17% to $2.12. Iris Energy was up 0.22 to $4.49. Lexfolio was down big today, 19.54% to basically 5 cents. They are in trouble. Marathon is down 4.21% to $12.07. Mawson was down 2.76% to 67 cents. Riot was down 2.38% to $7.38. Excuse me. Soluna 1.46% on the upside to $2.08, and Stronghold was down 6.76% to $1.38 on that one. All right, so pretty mixed day on the miners for the most part. Most of them were down today. And let's take a look at the total hash rate for Bitcoin Network. So we have reached a new all-time high here at 232 million roughly, and this is probably 232 million terahashes, I believe, on the network here. This was reached on September 12th, 13th. So miners are definitely getting plugged in right now. The previous all-time high was at 231, so we beat that. We did come down a little bit here. We'll have to see how this continues going forward. We know that obviously pretty much all the miners are getting new miners installed, so we'll have to see how much further that goes up. But we will take a look at a spreadsheet that I have as far as calculating what the miners are possibly going to be making and at what terahashes they have it, and at current cost per watt hour, I believe. So we'll take a look at that in a little bit here. But next thing I want to take a look at is obviously the Bitcoin clock here is at 551 days. Let's see if that's correct. We'll refresh it. And we are at 551 days left to the next halving event. The other thing is obviously the Ethereum network had its merge happen today. And it's a good thing. All in all, obviously the electricity that was used for securing the network is no longer going to be used. So that's a 99.9% savings on electricity. Now they're proof of stake, which is fine. The other things that they still have to work on is obviously the cost of transactions. That has to come down because that was insane. It still is probably insane. They need to bring that down, and they need to increase their throughput, or the amount of transactions that they're doing right now. It looks like they did about 1,109,000 transactions today. That equates to about 12 transactions a second. That has to obviously go up as well. So they still have a lot of work ahead of them to get to being close to like Visa or some of the other proof of stake coins that are out there. I think Soluna is a lot higher throughput along with Cardano. So they still have some work left to do on that. Now, congrats to the Ethereum team for getting this done for the most part. They had basically a flawless transition on this. So this is good. I was one of the people that was thinking that they're going to possibly kick the can down the road a little bit more. They didn't. They surprised me. I'm sure they surprised a lot of people. I'm sure they surprised Hive, Frank from Hive as well, because they were still thinking there was going to be at least a couple months out, if not a year or more, before we actually transition over to proof of stake. So congrats to the whole Ethereum team for getting this done. This is big news. Now they have to concentrate on the other parts to make it less expensive for the transactions, instead of costing $100 to move some BTC around or whatever, do whatever it takes. They got to get that down to pennies, and that's going to take a while for them to get there. And that is it for them. So mining is no longer accessible to us in Ethereum. So I wanted to take a look at, obviously, some of the alternatives that are out here. So Ethereum Classic Hashrate, you can see here, has skyrocketed here in the last week or so, since basically started going up right around September 13th. So 2 days ago, and it's today. I mean, the miners just switched when that merge happened, and we went up to a high of 311 terahashes when on average it was at 50. So a 6x increase in network hash rate. And I wanted to see what that actually means for Ethereum, for the miners that did switch over. So I looked at the website What to Mine. I used the basic default values here. You got 6 cards on a system and on a rig. Those are the 3080 GeForce RTXs. They are at 588 megahashes per second, about 1400 watts of power. And I used basically the same default settings for all of these different hashes that you could possibly mine. So The most profitable one right now is Caspa, which is after electricity at 5 cents, you're at $4.13. So that some miners might be moving over to that. Then you got Royo. Royo is at $2.88. Ergo is at $3.04. Krypton Conceal is at $2.72. You got Xano at $2.64. Flux at $2.47. And then you got some nice hash here. One's Bitcoin Z. Never heard of that one before. Is $1.97. They can make on it. Gemlink is $1.88. Bitcoin Gold here is $1.76. I mean, you could go to Bitcoin Gold, mine that possibly, get some money out of that. And then you got some other ones here as well: Cortex and Nexa, Conflux. Man, there's some different ones here. So you got Ravencoin. Ravencoin is one of the ones we talked about in the past. That one is $1.09 or $1.10 right now after electricity. But if you scroll down here to Ethereum Classic, it's at 12 cents right now. So you're basically at that tipping point where the hash rate difficulty is at a point where it's not going to be profitable anymore. So we're going to probably see some of these miners moving to some of these other coins possibly as well. And then everything else below it is basically not profitable right now. I wish I would have checked Ethereum Classic what the profitability was yesterday before the merge happened to kind of go over it and see what the actual difference is on it. But it's obviously to the point where it's almost non-profitable, especially depending if you have electricity at a much higher cost. If you have electricity at, like the home cost, you're at like 11 cents or 10 cents, depending where you live. You could see here that at that point, you're probably not making any money with, where is it? Ethereum Classic. Yeah. I mean, you're out $2.05 to mine it. So a lot of people that were mining it from home that had their GPUs going towards Ethereum, switch over to Ethereum Classic, you're not making any money right now on it. So, and the only ones that are profitable here at that point is possibly going to be Vergecoin, and you got Flux a little bit here, 25 cents, Xano at 39, NiceHash is at 48, Conceal is at 51, Ergo at $1.06, Ryo at 62 cents, and Caspa at $1.86. So those are kind of your options there. So it's going to be a little bit of the Wild West right now with the miners trying to figure out which coin to mine to where they can make money on it until things equalize a little bit and some of the coins go up in value possibly. It's going to be a Wild West show out there right now. People are going to be switching over from one coin to the next to see where they can be profitable at, especially the ones that mine from home. But obviously the institutional miners that had a little bit better costs on power, they're going to be blessed with a little bit more choices than some of the other miners, the hobbyists. So that's it on that. I did check to see, Frank and company, what they reported today as far as when the merge happened. Nothing from Frank on the merge or anything like that, which is kind of obvious. They were mining Ethereum for a long time. They obviously had a lot of capital in those miners and the GPU miners and everything else and the data centers to mine it. And, obviously it hurts. It's going to be a big hit for them. So nothing from Frank on here. He talked about some gold, some FUD, some copper, some other things, but nothing on Ethereum merge. Nothing that what they're going to be doing with switching their GPUs to other coins, doing high computing or anything like that. Didn't provide any kind of information like that, which I would have liked to have seen him do that, saying, hey, here's the test that we're doing. Here's how things are going, but nothing like that. Typical Frank here on Twitter, as it is the case here. Checked out Hive as well to see what Hive was talking about. Nothing, no news, nothing you tweeted here as well. So that was kind of to be expected, but at least would have been nice to see something from them as far as, hey, guys, we're doing this, we're doing that, whatever it is. But that didn't happen, obviously. So that's a little bit disappointing there. Okay, so let's take a look at the numbers here that I have for, we'll first get into Bitcoin itself. So here's my spreadsheet that I used just to see which miners at what prices of electricity and what prices of Bitcoin are profitable at right now. And it looks like, I'm guessing some of the big guys obviously are about 4 cents. Some might be about 3 cents for electricity. Some might be a little bit higher than that, but I'm just going with 4 as an average here. We're using the Bitcoin price of roughly, well, I used 20,200. This was earlier today. And the network at 232 million. So we're coming up with electricity costs about $3.02 on 3150 watts of a miner, right, which is pretty much standard. We're pretty close to that. And we're looking at the different terahashes of the miners. So 75, 80, 85, 90, going all the way to 155. I think the best one that we have right now is 140. At the current pricing, it looks like everybody here is profitable to the point of, yeah, I mean, even since 75 terahash miners are profitable, they would be profitable all the way down to 12,000 roughly. And then after that, they become unprofitable. If you're at the 80 terahash, you're down to $10,000 in Bitcoin price. And then you finally have to go to the 100 terahash miners. And then you're possibly profitable still at 8,200, just barely at 16 cents. At the current difficulty, obviously, if Bitcoin slides more, difficulty could come down as other older miners are turning off. So that might help us out there. And then after that, the 140 terahash miners or the 130, here you could go down to as low as 6,200 in Bitcoin price before you start not making any money on it. So I think we're still in a good place with Bitcoin price where it's at right now for the miners. Obviously, it all depends on electricity costs. If you're a miner and you're at spot pricing, that could be obviously a little bit challenging because now if you're at 9 cents possibly, well, your 75 terahash miners are no longer profitable. Your 80, 85 terahash miners aren't. Your 90 are just barely profitable here. And then if you have the newer miners, 140, you could go down to about 14,000 before you're no longer profitable. So those guys, anybody that has spot pricing on electricity are going to have a hard time. Anybody that has fixed pricing, extended for 1, 2, 3 years, whatever they may have it at, they should be okay as long as they're, around that 4 cents mark, looking at it that way. Now, if obviously Bitcoin stays where it's at, let's just say network hash rate increases to, let's just go 280 million on this. Now, we're still looking pretty good on it. It looks like now the 75 terahash are no longer profitable at 14,200 or close to that, somewhere around there. So it did obviously increase the price of Bitcoin to where they are no longer profitable. So it's not too bad yet. We're at 232. So you can see that how that affects that. And like I said, I think most miners are going to be okay. The ones that have spot pricing, those are going to be in a little bit of a hurt here. And if electricity continues to go up, we don't know where it's going to end up at. That's going to even hurt even more. So something to be mindful of here. So I just wanted to point that out to you guys with the network increasing, where things stand as far as profitability is concerned for the miners at terahashes and what dollar price of Bitcoin, basically. All right, now let's take a look at Hive. So Hive has been providing us with BTC and BTC equivalent measures for their mining updates each month. I've been using the BTC equivalent because that's going to the bottom line, right? So we've been using that going forward. And we can see here that they've been increasing their BTC equivalent numbers for the past, pretty steadily here for the past 6-7 months. We had a little bit of dip here, obviously, in February, but that was a shorter month. So that's going to be to expected. But they were at 425 in January, 377 in February. March was 447. April was 458. May was 459. June was 420. So a little bit of dip there. July was 465. And August was 518. Now, that's obviously including the Ethereum that they were mining, converting that over to BTC equivalent. That's no longer going to be the case. I think they may have about, half a month of Ethereum mining this time around in September. So that will get them to possibly, and this is just an estimate that I was using here, using the numbers we had for the miners that were installed and where they got us to, and then adding whatever was the difference here for Ethereum miners as far as what they could have possibly brought in. So in August, they brought in about 4.6 million in revenue. It looks like now, if we're doing the same math here, we're looking at possibly only 2.3 million in September, half of that, right, for the 14 days that they were mining roughly. That got us down to about 8.4 million in revenue compared to 11.6. So that is a sizable difference here. So if we do the math on it, this divided by that, what do we get? Basically 28% drop, almost 30% drop in revenue just from this. Now, if we look at October numbers, we don't know how many miners are going to get installed in September, so that might help them out a little bit, but it's not going to be a huge help. They're possibly going to be mining about 317 Bitcoin. This is just an estimate on it. And that gets us down to a revenue of about 6.3 million. So if we do the math on that again, take this and, look at the number, divide that by the number in August, which was a pretty good month for them. Now we're down to basically 54%, so a 45% drop in revenue just in 2 months because of Ethereum. Now, there are some caveats to this, obviously. And the caveats are, what are they doing with the current miners as far as, are they mining other coins? That may help offset some of the losses there. Also, their high computing. What is that income like? What is that contributing to their bottom line? So those are the big ifs that we don't know about yet, something that we need to find out, and hopefully we'll find out possibly by the end of October, which should give us enough time span to have a full month of data, hopefully, and hopefully they provide it. If they don't provide it, we'll be going by just the miners that they currently do have, and then we'll see what the numbers look like at the end of possibly it'll be Q4. It's the end of December quarter, basically. So that doesn't obviously look good. Ethereum also, not Ethereum, Hot 8 is in the same boat. They had a little bit less, quite a bit less of Ethereum miners than Hive does, but it's nonetheless going to affect them, and I'm trying to figure out how we're going to figure that out. I think we're just going to have to wait to see what they actually mine as far as Bitcoin, because we're not, let me see here, GPU servers. We are adding about 1.5. This was in May. We didn't add anything here in those months. Let me see here. October, September, August. We didn't add anything into it. And we were down actually days here on the miners. So I'm not sure I can't remember if they provided numbers for the Ethereum, how much they mined, or I don't think they provided the BTC equivalent. I think they just provided the BTC numbers that they did mine on it, if I'm not mistaken. If I'm incorrect, correct me in the comments down below. But I had them at 375 BTC in August, 330 in July. June was 328, May was 309, April was 309, March was 345, 289 in February, and 308 in January. So they've been kind of all over the place here a little bit, but they have been going up as of late. So that's good. But we'll see what kind of an impact it has on Hot 8 as far as the amount of BTC that they're actually providing us with. So Hive and Hot 8 obviously going to be in a little bit hurt. I think Hive is going to be a little bit more pain than possibly Hot 8. Hot 8 also has, let me see here, their current hash rate is at 2.98, and this is just on their Bitcoin mining, whereas Hive is at, let me see here, scroll over. Sorry if I'm going all over the place here. Hive is at 2.3. So Hive does have, or Hot 8 has more Bitcoin miners right now, hash rate wise, than Hive does. So yeah, that is it. I just wanted to point this out to you guys that obviously things are not looking good for Hive right now until we get some more numbers from them as far as what they are actually going to be mining and Hive computing things. But obviously, the more updates they provide us, I think the better off we're going to be. And if we look at, let me see here, where's Hive? Where is Hive? Hive. Oh, over here. Let's take a look at Hive here really quick. You can see that Hive has been coming down in price. Obviously, everybody did have a pretty good month in August. Obviously, had a nice rally up there, and it has been coming down quite a bit here recently. So maybe it's already priced in, and we won't be going down too much lower with Hive, but we'll have to see how this plays out. So that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Obviously, not good news for Hive or Hut, and we'll see how things play out. We'll keep you guys abreast of what happens. All right, that is it. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, subscribe, helps me out. Spreadsheets are available to my Patreon members as always. Thank you to everyone there for their continued support. Love you all. Have a great evening. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.